There we go. Guys, it looks like the script has been completely flipped. And Scott Bessent is the one that has done this. Well, Donald Trump did it because he appointed Scott Bessent. But Scott Bessent has turned into an actual pit bull. And he appears so nice. But when Scott Bessent comes out and says what he did last night in an interview, this is going to change everything. Because Minnesota, we know Minnesota has been basically this experiment, this petri dish for all of this, what I would say, waste, fraud, and abuse. And I believe Tim Walz has been the operator behind the whole thing. And now the media, they're basically the cleanup crew. Let me know in the chat, 5x5, let me know how the audio is. But I believe Tim Walz is the operator. I believe the news media has been the cleanup crew, basically trying to erase all of this, trying to hide it, right? That's what I think. And it seems to be that way. But don't expect the news to cover any of this. They don't report on Walz. They protect him. But the second you disagree, the second that you disagree, they come after you. I know because a left-wing extremist outlet, Mercado Media, tried to dox me just for saying I don't want my money shipped to Ukraine. That's how the left plays, not persuasion, punishment. Minnesota is their live demo. And if it works there, they'll export it everywhere. That's my thoughts. Let's check this out. Smash a like and subscribe button. I got a clip here of Scott Bessent laying it all out. Scott Bessent laying it all out. Let's go with it right here.
That's part of following the money. There are evidently some disturbing tapes of A.G. Ellison in meetings with people who donated to him, them calling for political favors to stop the investigations. So we'll see. But again, I don't want to get out ahead of the investigations. It's going to be very methodical. And Chris, I can guarantee you, when the bear trap snaps, we're going to get these folks. And again, we're going to follow the money, whether it's over the two counties here, in Minneapolis, St. Paul's, or whether it's to East Africa. And there's tons of luxury properties, cars that have been bought over there. And how the hell did this happen? How did it happen? Like, President Trump is outraged. I'm outraged. The American people should be.
He said a couple of things there that should really, stoke the old gray matter this early in the morning. Get you some level 3 coffee here. He said a couple of things. He said he doesn't care whether it started here, because he's in Minnesota, started here in the capital, or East Africa. Did you hear him say that they've been buying luxury cars and houses in Mogadishu? Well, what? This doesn't make sense, but I'm sure now that Ilhan Omar has married a white guy, which white people are evil. Why do they always marry white guys? Even Don Lemon. They always marry white guys. Now she's worth $60 million. That all makes sense. That's all above board. Everything's fine, right? It's all fine. Everything's good to go. Nobody will ever look into this. Nobody ever look into this. Let me go here. Tomorrow I go and buy all of my dog feed, my weekly dog food purchase for my vets with the service dogs. So feel free to chime in. And if you want to make a donation, a lot of the money from super chats and memberships goes to help some veterans. Somebody says we don't claim those white guys. Oh, okay, gotcha. Alpha males are back. Daddy's home. Scott Bessent. I just love what he's doing. And if you don't know who Keith Ellison is, let me see if I can find this clip of Keith. Oh, here we go. Keith Ellison. Now, Minnesota is suing the Trump administration over what they call a federal invasion. This is Keith Ellison here. He was paying his son $150,000 like a year to do nothing. And they always have like a weird sign language person that looks like they're fighting constipation or diarrhea. You fill in the blank.
That the obvious targeting of Minnesota for our diversity, for our democracy, And our differences of opinion with the federal government is a violation of the Constitution and of federal law. We allege that the surge's reckless impact on our schools, on our local law enforcement, is a violation of the 10th Amendment.
They always bring up the schools. Do you know why they bring up the schools?
Won't somebody please think of the children?
Think of the children. They always bring up the schools. It's ironic because that's how they make money. Here's the other thing that's really crazy. Well, Keith Ellison is an avowed, he prays 5 times a day looking towards Mecca. Let's just say that's what he does. He was a senator, a Minnesota congressman, I believe. He decided to step down and take over as the attorney general. Why would you do that unless you were putting yourself in a position to prevent anyone ever finding the fraud, the waste, the abuse? And did you hear him say that they were going to sue the Trump administration because Trump or the administration is worried about their diversity? They're worried about our diversity. Give me a break.
And the sovereign laws and powers of the Constitution grants to states. We allege that DHS's use of excessive and lethal force, their warrantless, racist arrests, their targeting of our courts, our churches, houses of worship.
He had to clear his throat from all the bullshit.
And schools are a violation of the Administrative Procedures Act on arbitrary and capricious federal actions. And we ask that the courts will end the surge of thousands of DHS agents into Minnesota.
He just recognized thousands of DHS agents are headed into Minnesota. No, he's never been in jail, but this guy is a criminal. It's absolutely a criminal. And it's so clear once you start seeing the patterns, of how all of these games work, it's easy to recognize. So clear. Who sang the song, I Can See Clearly Now, the Rain Is Gone? That's what's happening right now. Let me show you this. New York is doing the same thing. They're about to do the same thing. This is, well, I'll show you this first. This is the front page of the New York Post today. The United States of fraud. Anybody disagree? 377 billion, 5 to 10% of federal budget stolen every year. Scott Bessent. Does that look familiar? Does it look familiar? Yeah, right? Now let's look at what Kathy Hochul is doing. The lefties, the people that hate America, are pushing the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, to pass anti-ICE bills as she lays out the election year. How can any state pass a bill that would not allow federal law enforcement? You know what? That's fine. If you want to pass that, then you're not allowed any federal money. If you don't allow federal officers into your state, which I don't understand how you, are they trying to, what is it whenever you secede? Should we allow New York and Minnesota to secede from the United States? Should we allow New York and Minnesota and California and Washington State and Oregon to secede? I think we should. Don't donate to PayPal. I need to set up a separate PayPal for that. I don't have a PayPal set up for the channel, and I don't want to give you my personal one. There's too many Indians that are probably watching right now that hate me. But look at all these people. Pass New York for all. Yeah. Let's not let any federal officers in, right? But let's look here. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent reveals up to 10% of the U.S. budget. I have no idea who these clowns are. Hundreds of billions of taxpayer dollars are squandered on waste, fraud, and abuse. If we can narrow that number, look at this. If we can narrow that number, Trump asked for a $500 billion increase in the defense budget. If we got rid of the fraud, how rich would America be right now? How rich would America be right now if we got rid of all of the fraud that was leaving our country. Guys, there would probably be no potholes where I live. Here, let me put a link here. Join the channel. If you want to join the channel, there's a link in the chat. I'm going to pin it right there at the top, and you can become a member on the channel. Get into the Discord server. We chat 24/7 in there. It is just nothing but a good group of patriots. Big time. God bless our vets, Twilight. I've got a lot of super chats rolling in here. I'll grab those as soon as I possibly can. But I really want to say thank you. Greg, super chat. Greg Yergin. Greg just upgraded his membership. Greg, thank you so much. Twilight, God bless our vets and current military members. Ain't that the truth? Right now, we need all the help we can get for the organization that I help with vets and service dogs, and then also other, entities across the United States. Scott Bessent, bringing the thunder. Here is something that I don't take lightly. This is Scott Adams apparently is in hospice care. He's in hospice care now, and this guy has fought a hell of a fight. He converted to Christianity just in his final days, and now he's in hospice care. I wish him fair winds and following seas. This guy's a legend.
Whenever I talk about the simulation, and especially when I talk about my own impending death, many of my Christian friends and Christian followers say to me, Scott, you still have time. You should convert to Christianity. And I usually just let that sit because that's not an argument I want to have. I've not.
Religion's a very personal thing, but I think it's an answered prayer. Somebody says, do I ever use the other channel, Fence Center? Yeah, all the time. There's new video over there now. Scott Adams, great human being, an absolute legend. Show you something else that just happened last night. I'd say pray for these people. Now the protesters are using damn pyrotechnics against ICE agents.
Fuck you!
Sorry about the language. You know they're violent and retarded. You know that. Look at them putting off Roman candles against federal agents. Right? I mean, this is like Mogadishu. Look at this. These people are insane. I don't know how or where this goes next. I mean, this is a WTF moment. They are launching actual pyrotechnics. Look at this. Somebody said coffee with Ben Dykes. Man, Scott Adams, coffee with Scott Adams. I watch that all the time. I watch it all the time. Uh-oh. Eidolon, welcome back. They aren't protesters. They are paid agitators. I'm going to agree with that. Let me give you this. Eidolon, you might disagree about me giving a shit about Iran. Giving a crap about Iran. But yeah, I agree with you on this one.
Amen. Hallelujah. And boom shakalaka.
These people are rabid, just rabid retards, I think is the best way to describe them. I don't understand what they really think they're going to accomplish. Harmeet Dillon just lays it out exactly what they're not going to be allowed to do. She's an assistant deputy attorney general. Listen to what she says.
The journalist in Portland, Oregon, and he was exposing the Antifa violence happening in that city. And he was attacked on 2 different instances by gangs of these Antifa thugs for doing journalism. They recognized him. They violently attacked him. And when I saw him assaulted, I reached out to him, so we're going to go after them and sue them for attacking you. But we wanted to send the message that it wasn't going to be free to just attack journalists in the United States. Poor Andy was, beaten twice and suffered significantly from that. Each of them showed up in court after I sued them with their own lawyers paid for by Soros-funded, Tides Foundation-funded nonprofits. And so there's a whole edifice of nonprofits on the left that pays for these violent thugs to do what they do with impunity. The first case that we took on was
Harmeet Dillon singled out the Soros Foundation, the Tides Foundation. It's not Tide dishwashing detergent or laundry detergent. It's a foundation, but she calls them out specifically. They are going after them. They are actively going to pursue the Soros Foundation. Here's another one that's big, and I don't even know if we're ready to talk about this yet. I don't know. Let's go here. Bill Clinton faces House deposition today. The House Oversight Committee, led by strongly worded email writer James Comer, subpoenaed the Clintons in 2025 as part of its investigation. Ghislaine's role, federal responses, blah, blah, blah. Comer warned that skipping could lead to contempt proceedings, a misdemeanor with up to a year in jail and a $100,000 fine. Now, the $100,000 fine doesn't mean crap to them. Contempt proceedings doesn't mean crap to them. But a misdemeanor with up to a year in jail, I firmly believe Bill Clinton is very guilty. The images that were released, he is complicit. But here's the other part. Neither Clinton has confirmed Bill or Hillary has confirmed attendance, and reports suggest Bill may not appear, while Democrats like Hakeem Jeffries call the probe unserious. What was the probe whenever they raided Mar-a-Lago? Failure to appear. Here we go. Reports are circulating. Bill and Hillary are expected to testify today. Failure to appear, if they were formally subpoenaed, could raise questions about contempt of Congress. Will they show? Let's do this. Do you think the Clintons show up today? Will the Clintons show up? I don't think they show up. I don't think they show up. I think the only way that we get the Clintons to take any, Democrats will do anything to conservatives. It seems like it's all turned around because there have been no real arrest with any weight to them. Democrats think they're above the law. Somebody says, why am I thinking of cigars? Your mind's in the gutter. That's why. Lawrence, no one's above the law. Well, Democrats seem to be above the law, Lawrence. And Lawrence was a great name whenever I watched, what was it? Full Metal Jacket. Lawrence. Remember that? I can't say the other words on YouTube, but Lawrence. Look at this. Here's more of the stuff happening in Minnesota. Look at these. These people are crazy. These people are absolute lunatics. Bill Clinton faces House deposition. Like I said, I don't know if he'll show up. I don't know. 90% of you don't think he will show up. Okay. We got a little of that. We talked a little bit about this. Here's one for you. Treasonous Senator Mark Kelly is suing Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, which I can't even wrap my head around this one. This one blows my mind. I didn't think you could sue someone for doing the right thing.
Breaking right now, Democratic Senator Mark Kelly is suing the Department of War and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth after moves to censure and discipline him. Kelly is asking a federal judge for an immediate injunction, trying to freeze the punishment while the case plays out in court. The department disciplined Kelly, a Navy veteran, over a video where he told service members to ignore what he called illegal orders. Kelly argues he's being illegally punished for a political viewpoint.
I don't think a regular court can step in this case and stop anything, because Kelly falls under something that many of you don't. The Uniform Code of Military Justice. See that Navy symbol? Uniform Code of Military Justice doesn't have anything to do with regular court. Super chat from Terry. Thank you, Terry.
Amen. Hallelujah. And boom shakalaka.
Thank you very much. $20 and above, you're always going to get a boom shakalaka. Nathan for the swear jar. Damn it, I need it, Nathan. Damn it. I need it. Thank you, Nathan. $5 from the Real Car KRO. Devil in a blue dress on. Who sang that song? Who sang? Was that? It wasn't Stevie Ray Vaughan. No, I was listening to some Stevie Ray Vaughan last night. I'm trying to learn a little Stevie Ray Vaughan. Man, I gotta find out who that. Offer Bill a cigar, he'll show up. G-Dub in the house, calling in from Compton, California. I think this is a big one. This is big. Conservatives pressing John Thune to vote on the SAVE Act. Congress passed it months ago, back in April. It's been sitting on the senator's desk, John Thune. And I don't understand why. Here we go. It was passed 9 months ago. Why will this rhino not allow it to even be voted on? Why will he not allow it to be voted on? How dumb is it we can't pass secure voting laws when we have the House, Senate, and the presidency? It's pretty simple. Pretty simple. United States a fraud. That explains everything. Here we go. Let's go here. How many of you would vote for J.D. Vance in 2028?
Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin is all aboard the J.D. Vance train for 2028. Youngkin is showing his full support behind the VP in one of the earliest state-level endorsements for a potential Republican ticket. Here's Governor Youngkin in an exclusive interview on Fox News Sunday.
I think as people speculate on what's going to happen down the road in 2028, I agree with President Trump and Marco Rubio. I think J.D. Vance would make a great presidential nominee.
Vance himself has not announced a 2028 presidential run, but is widely seen as a leading contender to succeed President Trump. And that's how Fox News.
Would you vote for JD in a 2028 election? Yes or no? Let's say that Trump can't run. Let's say Trump can't run. You're given an option of JD Vance on the ticket. Would you vote for JD Vance? That's a how in the hell do you have push? It's automatic. I have no idea. I have no idea about that one. Somebody didn't have enough coffee this morning for that message.
Talk also about what's happening to our law enforcement. Just last week alone, we saw 10 vehicle rammings. That's the weaponization of a vehicle, a deadly weapon against our law enforcement. We're seeing that's becoming a more and more common tactic that is being used against our law enforcement. They're facing a 1,000% increase in assaults against them. If you see a federal law enforcement officer or any law enforcement officer today, say thank you. Talk also about.
I love seeing these people have to clear the pepper spray out of their eyes. I don't know why, but I get a lot of enjoyment off of that. I really love seeing that. And maybe I am a sick and twisted human being. He's going to walk himself into a military tribunal, Secretary Kelly or Senator Kelly. You might be right on that. John Fetterman might be the only Democrat with any common sense, which is what we're starting to understand.
The president saying he's now considering taking military action inside Iran. Do you want the U.S. to get involved like that?
Sure, absolutely. And now if it continues to make more sense, absolutely. I think I was the only Democrat that fully supported our strike of their Iranian nuclear facilities last year. And now by then, without those kinds of strikes, Iran could have acquired a nuclear bomb. I hope we can all agree that Iran should have never acquired a nuclear bomb. And Iran is one of the world's top terrorist unwriter. And now you have that poisonous regime now in spiral. So why wouldn't we want to support that? And those brave protesters, they've killed probably more than 600 by now. So now why would we want to have the kinds of targeted kinds of action that could break that regime?
I don't know. I want Iran to become a constitutional republic. Will it ever happen? I don't know. Because you're fighting true believers there. You are fighting a religious ideology. And I don't know if you can ever beat a religious ideology. The one thing I would like to say is about Iran, what's happening there? I wish the people the best. but we've got flat tires on our car here. And before I go help you change your car tires, I want us to fix our problems. We have the same riots and protests happening in the United States that are happening over there. Okay? I just don't care that much about it. Do I want peace in the Middle East? Yes. Do I want to get involved there? No, I don't. I don't want to get involved there. I don't want any American soldiers to get involved there. Yeah, I saw that. Pete Hegseth told the military-industrial complex to go pound sand. Absolutely. Historical review. Keep America out of the Mideastern garbage. Yes. Yes, I'm giving you that.
Amen. Hallelujah. And boom shakalaka.
I'm giving you that one. Nathan, more funds for the jar. Coffee's about to kick in. I cannot send more men and women to Iran. I just don't want to do it. Fix America first. There is no America to help any other countries. Boom. Yes. Fighting demons. Demons have them people blinded. Bible says our heads will be chopped off. So that says a lot. Okay. Get Omar and AOC out. Obama stuck them in office. He very well could have. I believe he probably helped them get elected. You're probably not wrong.
There are sources do tell CNN that there are concerns inside the Trump administration, though, that taking military action, military strikes, could actually backfire and undermine the protests by swelling support for the Iranian government. Do you see that?
Where are the Democrats at right now? Why have we not seen one Democrat out protesting for pro-democracy? I have not seen any pro-democracy protest from Democrats in support of the Iranian people. Jackie Heinrich, she's a clown. I don't even want to show her face. Let's go. You know what? Let's just do this. I wasn't prepared. To be honest with you, I felt a little bit under the weather. How can I send you an FAFO video? My email address, you can send my email. Send that, but just don't send me an email with like, hey, check this out, because I delete those. If you don't take the time to describe what I'm about to watch, I delete it. Here we go. Veteran Biker 1 at protonmail.com. Veteran Biker 1 at protonmail.com. That is my email address. Send me whatever you want. But like I said, if you don't have a description in there, it's gone. I will delete that stuff. I will delete it. It's gone. I will ignore you.
The argument over the shooting is irrelevant if you deny the premise for them being there. This is part of the strategic ignorance where the other side doesn't understand things. Why is ICE here? Why is breaking the law wrong? Why do we need this kind of enforcement? What is wrong with an open border? Then you're forced to explain everything, which takes forever, even though you know that they know. Because the same rules that govern civil order also operates under their lives. So, you know, you don't sneak into Disneyland, you pay. You don't cut in line at the movies, you wait in line. You don't interfere with the police.
Yeah, everybody wants law and order except whenever it comes to coming to the United States. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Feel free to give me a call. Love to talk with you. Uncle Sam is the Samaritan, is the religious figure who led the Israelites during the time of the prophet Moses. Uncle Sam was leading the Israelis? I think you're wrong. I think you're retarded. I don't think that was Uncle Sam. I believe that was God. Uncle Sam is not God as much as I love America. Uncle Sam's a fictional character too. Line 1, go right ahead, line 1. Turn whatever you got.
Down in Wacom, Louisiana.
Turn whatever you've got going on in the background. It sounds like a, yeah. I got to hang up on that. I just, sorry, no. I'm not going to listen. It sounded like a damn dispatch area for a police station. No, not dealing with that one this morning. I don't need to venture into there. Lines are open 615-475-7864. Feel free. Kelly's trying to overcome Article 2. Good luck. Florida trucker, Fox News Live. Brian showed off AF drones. Okay, cool. Bongino. What do you think about Bongino coming back? What do you all think about Dan Bongino coming back? Line 1, go right ahead. Line 1, never mind, retarded. No problem. Somebody take the phone away from the kid. Somebody take the phone away of the kid. Bongino is on his way back, but I think he's going to run into some real resistance. And I like Dan Bongino. I really like Dan Bongino, but I think he's going to come back into a little different dynamic than what he left. He is not going to be as loved as he was. His audience is going to be split. Line 2, go right ahead, line 2.
Ben, George, California.
George, talk to me.
I need you to do it. You need to look up Minnesota statute 609.
We've already talked about it.
066. It's very relevant.
We've already talked about it.
Huh?
We talked about that a couple of days ago.
Oh, well, I missed that day. I'm really sorry. That's you know, when he signs in a law that it says if you're going to get run over by somebody, you can shoot them now.
That's right.
I thought that was very important. So
it is very important.
Love the show. Missed that one.
I appreciate you, brother. You take care. God bless you. George in Commie-stan. George in Commie-stan. What are your thoughts about Dan Bongino? Military action in Iran, 2/3 of the audience says yes. 2/3 say yes. Immediate release, Dan Bongino says he's coming back on February 2nd at 10 a.m., which for me is an odd time. I'm at work. Some of you that work are at work. What audience is he targeting for a 10 a.m. Eastern show? That's 10 a.m. Eastern. That's 9 a.m. Central. He'll be coming on right after us. I don't know what his real next move is. And will you even watch Dan Bongino? Let's do this. Will you watch Bongino? I believe he talked a great game, and I wished him the best of luck. Let's go line 2. Go ahead, line 2. What are your thoughts? Nope. Not even saying it again. Y'all know why I hung up on them. You know why I hung up on them. Will you watch Bongino? Florida trucker, talk to me.
Good morning, Ben.
Good morning, sir. What's going on?
Well, I think you're right. We do need to fix our own fences before we go try to fix somebody else's.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a 1,000-year war down there. You know, you're right. You're fighting ideology that, I mean, there's no real win unless it's a genocide type deal.
I think the only win, if you asked someone from either side in that area, what would you classify a win? The Israeli people would say complete wipeout of the Iranians. The Iranians would say a complete wipeout of the Israelis. We know that will never happen. I don't know if I want to get involved in 1,000, like you said. I don't know if I want to get into an ideological war when we have our own problems here.
There's no winning on that. There's no winning.
No, there's not. Trucker, I think you're right. You're wise beyond your years. Let me ask you this. What are your thoughts on Dan Bongino coming back February 2nd, 10 a.m. Eastern? What are your thoughts?
I feel betrayed, actually. I feel betrayed that he could have been the one voice in there that we could depend on, but he bailed.
I feel like he made some promises. He wrote some checks that he couldn't cash. I feel like he bounced some checks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's basically, yeah.
And I know that he wanted to. I know he wanted to fulfill those checks. I know that he wanted to, but I don't think he could.
We probably really don't understand just how deep the deep state is.
I agree with that.
We only got just a taste of how like way back last summer, that girl with the white stripe in her hair. You know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
She said she had evidence on like 5 sitting congressmen of laundering money through Panama and back to the U.S.
That's right.
Straight up said it on X, and anything happened. Where'd that go? It just all of a sudden it just disappeared.
Trucker, I appreciate you. I'm going to grab some more calls here.
And saw what was going on, and that about half or 3/4 of the people, Republican and Democrat, are on the take.
I got to grab some more calls here.
What we think.
Thank you very much for the call, sir. God bless you, Florida Trucker.
Have a good day. Thanks, sir, for what you do. God bless.
All right, there we go. Great call from the Florida Trucker. I don't know where he's at. There's no telling what part of the country he's actually in right now. But I like Dan Bongino. I just don't know, like Florida Trucker said, if he was prepared for the level of fraud, waste, and abuse, the level of corruption that he was up against. I don't know if he was prepared for the level of corruption he was up against. That's a damn good question. His original time slot was 10 o'clock. Okay, here we go here. Will you watch Dan Bongino? 66% say yes, 34% say no. Very similar numbers on if we should get involved in Iran. Wow, okay. I like Dan. I'm probably going to watch some Dan Bongino. I think I will. I say watch. I'll have it on in the background while I'm at work. That's what I do. Ben is a Benny Johnson wannabe. Oh, nice. Let me go here. Lady Fate. I love that. Lady Fate. Thank you for the comment, Lady Fate. Ben is a Benny Johnson wannabe. Well, I didn't get busted for plagiarism 26 times, working for BuzzFeed, Lady Fate. Lady Fate, Bongino is awesome and you're not. Thank you so much, Lady Fate. I love that so many people wake up this angry. Lady Fate, let me ask you this. You say Ben is a Benny Johnson wannabe. Yeah, he makes $3 million a month off of his YouTube channel. Line 1, we have the infamous, the one, the only, the white adjacent G-Dub. Talk to me, G-Dub.
Benny Johnson wishes he could be Ben Dykes. Just please. He don't have that same connection. I love him. Don't get me wrong. He's on our side. We're not going to fight with him, but get off of that. You have your hand on the pulse of the people. You get what I mean?
I don't understand why somebody would get up this early and try to troll in the chat. I like Benny Johnson. Like you said, he's on our team. He's got great connections. Would I like to make $3 or $4 million a month? Yes, I would. And Lady Fate, I wish Lady Fate would call in. Remove the dilator and call in.
That. I can help you grow that. But listen, the Bible even says that there are some people who can't rest unless they're causing turmoil or causing trouble. So that's what you get. Sometimes people just like to stir up crap. I say it crap.
You know, that is a very, very relevant point. There are a lot of people that like conflict. They like negative conflict. You're that is very prophetic. Very good point.
But listen, I want to say something about Iran. I mean, it might be me on hopium and copium, but it's the people. Remember, the women, especially back before all of this craziness, the women were educated and they had some rights. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They weren't like American, the women in America. But I think the people want the crazy, radical, theological people out of the way so that they can be more like I'm not saying that they'll be completely secular, but they'll be more like Saudi Arabia or the United Arab Emirates or something. You get what I'm saying? I think that they want modern times, modern technology. They want more freedom. They can't do it right now because the head of the snake is just a bunch of thugs that are keeping control and keeping their women down and keeping their people down.
You know, I will say this. It's part of the same reason that I believe they keep Lindsey Graham around. It's the devil that you know rather than the devil that you don't. I appreciate you calling, man. Thank you very much. I'm glad to hear that your dad's doing good, G-Dub. Thank you so much, brother. Be good.
No problem. Love you, man. Take care.
All right, man. I think G-Dub is on fire. I think he's on point. I think he has a very good point. It is the devil that you know rather than the devil that you don't. This looks very similar to Minneapolis. They're not as creative over in Iran as they are in Minneapolis, right? Not as creative.
Different from the messages they are sending to the United States and the Trump administration privately. President Trump, as for him, he has always expressed that diplomacy is the first option, always has been, always will be. However, he is unafraid to use the lethal force and might of the United States military if and
I just think what we're seeing in Iran, it very well could prevent much worse stuff down the road. It very well could. Let's grab this call here. Airborne Professor, talk to me. What you got going on, brother?
Hey, brother. Something you just said kind of rings true in psychology. Some people need chaos around them or to denigrate others so they feel better about their sad, pathetic life.
You know, I think that is directly proportional to the amount of trolls that we get in here, because we get up, we all want to talk about similar things. We want to find out similar stuff. And we get trolls that just like parachute in, pardon the pun, airborne, and they try to stir up discontent, right? It's a very weird timeline. Why do you think they do that? They just can't be happy?
Well, it's not that they can't be happy. They just live such a sad, pathetic life, and they don't know how to deal with it. So their way of dealing with it is to try to drag everybody down to that level or put them beneath them. Is kind of like a narcissistic type behavior, and that if I can make this other person seem to be at, say, a 2 because I'm at a 3 in life, if I can make everybody, that disagrees with me a 2, then I feel better about who I am.
You know, we had a thing on submarines, and this takes me back. We had a law on submarines. It's called the law of happiness. When you get on a submarine and you close the hatch, it's airtight, watertight, obviously. And the law was there was a limit amount of happiness on the submarine. And if you could steal some happiness from someone else by causing some conflict, you transferred that. Happiness could not be created or destroyed. It could only be transferred. And I think these people get happiness by tearing other people down. Airborne, appreciate you calling. God bless you. God bless the Army. Go Army. I'll say it. Go Army, beat Navy. That was a great call. There are some people that have no other thing in life other than just to tear other people down. Let's go here. I want to see what other kind of comments Lady Fate might have. Lady Fate doesn't want to say anything else. Okay. Lady Fate, you're welcome to call in. You are welcome to call in. I welcome all people. Get someone that understands what the numbers are on the phone to dial it for you, hand you the phone, tape it to your forehead, remove the hockey helmet and the drool tray so that you can talk to us, and let me know. Let's go here. MWP. What you got, MWP?
How you doing, Mr. Dykes?
Amazing.
I got to tell you, I'm at work. I just ducked into the utility closet for a second to call you. I just busted a certain demographic of people stealing something out of my store. And I got to tell you, all of a sudden, everybody comes out of the woodwork. All the liberals come. Here they come. It's not their fault. They're stealing. They're needy. What do they need? A plasma TV, a DVD player, all this stuff. Why do they need it? They're trying to feed their family with this stuff. What's the deal, Ben? Why is it that when people feel the need to steal things, all of a sudden everybody comes out of the woodwork when it's a certain demographic of people that they get stood up for? Now, if another demographic of people, the majority, if they steal something, they're dead wrong. What's going on in this country, Mr. Dyke?
There is a double standard, and one side, depending on the color and religion that you have a longer leash, and we both know it. We both know it.
Ben, I'm about ready to just leave this job, man. I'm about ready to just hang it up and say screw it, because you know what? I'm busting the same 20 people literally every month. I'm busting the same ones. They get out of jail, they get $1,000 bail, and you only have to pay 10%.
$100.
So they pay $100, and they get out, and guess what? They're right back in. I didn't say that. I didn't say where I work. And they come right back in, and they steal again, and I bust them again. And then here comes 350-pound white people busting spandex out of their pockets. They come rushing up. Leave the black man alone. Leave the black man. I'm sick of it. I don't know what to do anymore, Ben. I'm ready to leave this profession.
Well, MWP, I appreciate you calling. Thank you for sharing your frustrations. It is everyone has the same level of frustration. I appreciate you. He works obviously in some kind of security capacity, and he is seeing the same people break the law. Okay. Hearing advisory, examining the investigation to the DNC and to the RNC. I thought that Dan Bongino would have stuck around for this because he was very, very passionate about the pipe stuff. Very passionate. The hearing will investigate how Christopher Wray's federal FBI did not apprehend the suspect. Now they've got him in. There's a name mentioned on this list that I would like to get your opinion on. Chris Payota, retired FBI special agent, senior executive service. Would you like me to get him on the show for a interview? I know Chris. Let's see here. Would you like FBI agent retired live to answer questions? I can get him on the show tomorrow night. Let's go here. Tomorrow night, we have, here we go. Tomorrow night, live, we will have, dadgummit, let me move that. We will have Mike Lindell live tomorrow night on the show. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m., we have Mike Lindell. He's running for governor. We're going to try to help him win that race. We are going to try to help him win that race. Love to get your opinion on this. Would you like me to get this retired FBI guy? His name's Chris Payota. He was like the number 5 in charge of the FBI. I can get him on for a live stream interview and we can talk about exactly what he's able to talk about, what he would be capable of talking about. Obviously, he's just testified, being deposed or whatever that kind of legal jargon is. But I'm sure he would be able to tell us some things. Real KRO, $5 for the Fred and Daisy and the Service Dog Fund. Thank you so much. Let's go here. Line 2. I hope this is Lady Kate. What you got?
Well, I just wanted to make a comment about everything we've been doing this morning.
Sure.
Are we on air right now?
Yes, we're waiting on you. Shit or get off the pot. What you got?
Oh, okay. Forgive me, man. Somehow I'm a few minutes behind you, I guess.
Go right ahead.
Forgive me. Well, man, let me tell you about Dan, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I used to watch Dan. And,
Dan Bongino you're talking about. Dan Bongino.
But, yeah.
Okay.
But I won't watch him anymore. I will watch Benny Johnson, but I feel the same way about him as you do. But Dan, the only good he'll do is he might be able to get some women to vote.
Okay.
Just because, a lot of women think he's attractive and he might be able to, But for him to quit his position so quick, I just don't know where he's coming from. And that's just really about it today. But
well, I appreciate you calling.
I'm just saying he's just not all that. He won't. I think he just missed the fame and everything. You know what I'm saying?
I could see that.
I do love your show because you keep me posted real good in the mornings. I like it when you come on at 7:30. I don't miss you.
Well, I appreciate you calling, brother. Thank you so much. Great call. Thank you.
See you next time.
All right, there we go. I can't go after Dan Bongino. I want to say thank you. Somebody just dropped me a heck of a nice super chat on Cash App. Let me see who this was. Susan Edwards, $50 Cash App on $50 Cash App. Thank you, Susan. Let me give Susan a boom shakalaka.
Amen.
Thank you, Susan.
Hallelujah. And boom shakalaka.
Rebecca Mason, George, thank you very much. Rebecca, George, Rick, Tammy, Cassandra, John, Crystal, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. If you want to donate to the super chats, it's up there in the top left corner. I can't personally go after Dan Bongino because I think Bongino wanted to do the right thing. I think there's an apparatus in place that protects itself. Now, were we promised things? Yes, we were promised things. We were promised a lot. And all of us want to fulfill those promises. Whenever I say I'm going to go live at 6:30, I try to get at 6:30, but life happens, right? I've got dogs, critters, wife, forgot to turn on the coffee pot, just minor stuff like that. Goat hooves in the hallway. Yes, goat hooves in the hallway. There are a lot of people that want to do the right thing. I believe Dan Bongino wanted to do the right thing. And he got into the belly of the beast and realized that the machine protects itself. The military-industrial complex protects itself. The deep state protects itself. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. I had to look there from Dan only committed to 1 year. That's true. That is very true. He fulfilled his 1 year. You're absolutely right. Ever turn on the scoop? Now you know what I did this morning. I set up the coffee pot. I forgot to put water in the coffee pot. So now you know exact critters before wife. No. Well, if I don't take care of the critters, she will kick my butt. So you figure that one out. I don't know how that works out. The swamp was too deep for Dan. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Line 2, go right ahead.
Oh my gosh. Hi. First time caller.
Good morning.
From Wisconsin. Just wanted to chime in about Dan Bongino.
What would you like to say?
I think when he got there, he did not realize how corrupt the government was in the deep state. He wanted to do a lot of stuff, but he was not able to get things done. And he got in over his head and he needed out. He just couldn't handle it.
I don't know if any of us understand how much it's like trying to explain to a 6-year-old how big space is. I don't know if any of us understand the amount of corruption that is actually happening in our country right now. I don't know and this is Bongino. He posted, thank you for calling. I appreciate you. First time caller. There we go. First time caller. I'm going to give her how dare you? How dare you? And then let me give that one. First time caller from Wisconsin, stage 1. There we go. These are some of the wins that Dan Bongino posted in kind of a little, what do they call that? Collage. I think it's collage. Scrapbook, whatever. But these are some of the things that they did, that he accomplished. And he posted this. And I'm very proud of all these things. I would never, look at this. Gavin Newsom's former chief of staff indicted on public corruption. I think Bongino wanted to do the right thing. He was only the deputy director. He was not the director. Okay? He was not the director. Deputy director, accomplished as much as he could. What's that Jerry Reed song? Long way to go, short time to get there. Jerry Reed was apparently one of the greatest guitarists to ever live as well. Now when I say great guitarist, I'm taking Roy Clark as my number one. Roy Clark would be my number one on the tier of guitars. I've got guitar lesson today, actually. So we're happy to talk. Maybe one night we'll just do a live stream on who's the greatest guitarist. I could talk for hours about that. But I believe that's where we're going. Let's go right here. Line 2. What you got, line 2? Turn the audio down in the background. What you got?
Audio's down.
Yes, sir.
I just want to let you know that, a lot of people don't understand that Dan Bongino's got to do what the president wants him to do. He wants to do a lot, but he's got to take orders from the top.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Let me ask you this. Bongino, do you think his audience with him going back to Rumble, do you think they're going to be as receptive, as receiving, as understanding, or are people going to be upset about how much or how? I don't think he could ever accomplish everything that some people want.
Well, it's hard to stop doing something, especially when you got a lot of followers, and then everybody just to automatically snap back on. It'll take a while for him to get back into it, but he'll get back into it.
I agree. I wish Dan the best. We don't even know if it's part of his health. I think Dan had a lymphoma. I think he had cancer. I know for a fact he had a cancer. I don't know what type of cancer he had. I appreciate you calling. Where are you calling from? What part of the country?
Walla Walla, Washington.
Walla Walla. You're in a communist state too. Thank you very much. Thank you for very much for risking your safety for making a phone call from a communist state of Washington. There we go. Jay Inslee was a horrible governor and should be in prison. Horrible governor. Saying that name just sends a chill down my spine. Lines are open. But I don't know if Dan could ever meet the expectations. Talk to me. Line 1, go right ahead. You're live on the Ben Dyke Show.
Hey, Ben, this is Barry from Pennsylvania. I just want to tell you what I think about Dan Bongino leaving.
Tell me.
I think he left because that's a big strategy, because on the inside, he saw a whole bunch of crap, but he couldn't say anything. And I think he bailed out, and I think it's part of the plan. He can talk to more people now as a civilian.
Yeah, I mean, you very well could be right. I mean, I'm sure he's under some kind of non-disclosure agreements where he can't say certain things, but I think he could very well, that's a very good, valid point. That's a very valid point.
I'm a first-time caller. I've been watching you since Fred was running the camera up on the hay bales.
Oh, he's a good one, isn't he? He's a good one. He's gotten very.
I got something
better.
fun and light to tell you.
Tell me. Make it quick, sir.
Your buddy GW. Next time you talk to him, just think if Vincent Price was a black man from Compton. I smile and laugh every time I hear him talk.
I think G-Dub could have been a backup dancer in Michael Jackson's Thriller video. I think he could have been.
All right,
Appreciate you calling,
keep up the
sir.
Good work. I love you. Thank you for your work. Thank
God
you for your
bless
service
you.
to our country.
God bless you. God bless you. Guys, I know I will never, ever meet the expectations of everyone watching. I know I will never be able to do that. I know that I get angry. I get frustrated. I get mad, just like everyone watching. I want everyone arrested yesterday. I want that to happen. I know that those expectations are unreachable. Unreachable? Yeah, I think that's a word. I'm redneck, so I don't know. Minnesota is the experiment. Tim Walz is the operator. The media are the garbage trucks. They're the cleanup crew. They're erasing the mess. They're attacking anyone that points it out. You're looking at one of them. Mercado Media doxed me and my family. That's the game. If you're done being played, hit the like so this reaches more people. Subscribe for more straight talk without a filter. And sometimes I need a filter because I cuss and I get mad. Last night, I was mad. My wife opened the door and she gave me the look. She was laughing, but she gave me the look. I want to ask this question. Is Tim Walz's legacy already ruined, or does he skate by? Does he move into another level of politics? The Democrats are not going to police themselves. The news media is not going to police themselves. That's why we're here. And I want to say to all of you watching, thank you for accepting me for who I am. I am not Benny Johnson. I am not Dan Bongino. I am not Barry Cunningham. I am not Doug in Exile. I am not Neil Johnson. I think they all do great work in different ways, and probably ways much better than me. I am a one-man show. I get up at 4:45 every morning to put this show on. And then I go to my next job, my full-time job. Okay? I'm not asking for anything but just a little slack. For all the trolls that are watching, I'm sorry I don't meet your expectations. For all the people that follow the show and get up every morning, thank you for accepting my faults and allowing me into your living room or onto your phone while you take a dump. This is the Ben Dyke Show. I'm going to get out of here.